Hello everyone, welcome to Global Online. In this lecture, we are going to see NTA UGC NET Paper 1, and in today's lecture, we are going to see 50 plus most expected MCQ on People Development and Environment Unit, जिसमें कि मैंने करंट अफेयर के क्वेश्चन ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा डाले हैं. Okay, so do watch this lecture to clear all your doubt regarding the same, and you will receive my lecture every day at 7 a.m. that is in morning time. So to visit our channel every day at 7 and do watch my lecture to score more marks in the upcoming exam. Before we move forward, I want to tell you that we the Global Online has brought 2000 plus MCQ quick revision PDF in which you are going to get current affairs questions, previous year questions, most expected questions and most repeated questions for the paper 1. And this PDF is available just for ₹599. To get a PDF, contact on given number. अगर आप ये PDF लेके स्टडी करते हो तो मैं श्योर हूँ कि आपको 70-75 मार्क्स इजीली मिल जाएंगे और आपका पेपर 1 इजीली क्लियर हो जाएगा. What you are waiting for? Get the PDF and start your preparation today. So here is the question. In which year did the word sustainable development came into existence? So in this question they ask you about the sustainable development. जो sustainable development word था वो कब आया? Okay, और इसके लिए जो first option है वो है 1992, second one is 1978, then is 1980 and then is 1987. Sustainable development is an organizing principle for meeting the human development goal. Okay, sustainable development जो है वो organizing principle है for meeting the human development goal. While also sustaining ability of natural system to provide the natural resources and ecosystem services on which the economy and the society is depend. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा इस क्वेश्चन का वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर सी. In 1980, the word sustainable development came into existence. In which year was the United Nations Commission on Sustainable Development, that is CSD, started by UN General Assembly? तो इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है 1995, then is 1994, then is 1993 and last one is 1992. The United Nations Assembly on Sustainable Development was established by UN Assembly in year 1992. Why it is established? To ensure the effective follow-up of the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. Which was also called as Earth Summit. Okay. So here the correct answer for this question will be option number D, that is 1992. Which of the following was the main purpose behind setting up the Central Pollution Control Board? So here in this question they ask you about the purpose behind setting up the Central Pollution Control Board, that is CPCB. Okay. For this question the first option here is the main purpose of Central Pollution Control Board was to regulate air pollution. Second option is the main purpose of the Central Pollution Control Board was to regulate water pollution. Then is the main purpose of a Central Pollution Control Board was to regulate noise pollution, and the main purpose of the Central Pollution Control Board was to regulate the deforestation. The Central Pollution Control Board is a statutory organization which was constituted in the September 1994 under the Water Act 1974, and further the CPCB was entrusted with the power and function under the Air Act 1981. Okay, it is a statutory organization and constituted in September 1974. Here the correct answer for this question will be option number 1, that is the main purpose of the Central Pollution Control Board was to regulate air pollution. Which of the following statements is true? So इस क्वेश्चन में आपको कुछ स्टेटमेंट दिए गए हैं और आपसे पूछा गया है इसमें से कौन सा स्टेटमेंट है जो करेक्ट है। तो इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट यहाँ पर है वो है द सेंट्रल पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड हैज आइडेंटिफाइड 25 इंडस्ट्रियल कैटेगरी एज सिग्निफिकेंटली पोल्यूटिंग। Second statement is the Central Pollution Control Board has identified 35 industrial category as significantly polluting. The third is the Central Pollution Control Board has identified 45 industrial category as significantly polluting. And the last statement is the Central Pollution Control Board has identified 17 industrial category as significant polluting. Okay, the Central Pollution Control Board, that is CPCB, has identified 1551 large and medium industry in 17 category of polluting, highly polluting industry, okay, contributing the maximum to the pollution load. So here the correct answer for this question will be option number 4, that is the Central Pollution Control Board has identified 17 industrial category as significantly polluting. Which was the venue for Millennium Summit? So in this question they ask you about the venue for Millennium Summit. So in this question the first option given is Paris, second one is New York, third one is London, and last one is Rio de Janeiro. Okay, the Millennium Summit was a meeting among many world leaders lasting the 3 days from 6 to 8 September 2000. Please remember this, it is a lasting for 6 to 3 days between the 6 to 8 September in 2000. Held at United Nations headquarters in the New York. It is held in the United Nations, which is headquartered in the New York City. And the purpose was to discuss the role of United Nations at the turn of 21st century. Okay, the main purpose behind this is to discuss the role of United Nations. So the answer for this question will be option number B, that is New York. Which of the following are goals to be achieved under Millennium Development Goal? तो यहाँ पर इस क्वेश्चन में आपको गोल्स पूछे गए हैं टू बी अचीव अंडर द मिलेनियम डेवलपमेंट गोल्स। तो इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है टू इराडिकेट एक्सट्रीम पॉवर्टी एंड हंगर, सेकेंड वन इज टू अचीव यूनिवर्सल प्राइमरी एजुकेशन, third one is to promote gender equality, fourth one is to eradicate civil war, and the last one is to reduce the child morality. Okay, तो यहाँ पर आपको कुछ कोड दिए गए हैं जिसमें से आपको जो करेक्ट कोड है वो यहाँ पर सिलेक्ट करना है. So when we are talking about the Millennium Development Goal, there are 8 different goals which we are going to see in this explanation. So here you can see the different goal of Millennium Development by 2015. The first one is to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. Then is to achieve the universal primary education. The third one is to promote the gender equality. Then is to reduce the child morality. Then to improve the maternal health. Then is to combat the HIV and the AIDS, malaria and other diseases. The seventh one is to ensure the environmental sustainability, and the last one is to develop a global partnership for the development. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा इस क्वेश्चन का वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर सी, दैट इज 1 will be the added here to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. The second, that is to achieve the universal primary education, will be added. To promote gender equality will be added, and to reduce the child mortality will also be added. But to eradicate the civil war is not included under the Millennium Development Goals. So the correct answer will be 1, 2, 3 and 5. Which of the following options is correct when we only accomplish 2 out of 3 pillars of sustainable development? So here in this question the first option given is economic plus environmental sustainability equal to viable. Second is social plus environmental sustainability equal to bearable. Third is social plus economic sustainability equal to equitability. The last one is all of the above. So here, to achieve a true sustainability, we need to balance the economic, social and environmental sustainability. Okay. So to balance economic, social and economic, social and environmental sustainability factor in equal harmony, and this may be defined as a environmental sustainability. Environmental sustainability means that we are living within the means of our natural resources. Okay. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा इस क्वेश्चन का वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर डी, दैट इज ऑल ऑफ दी अबाउ. तो यहाँ पर इस क्वेश्चन में आपको असर्शन एंड द रीजन दिया गया है. जो असर्शन है वो कहता है सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट इज अ क्रिटिकल टू वेल बीइंग ऑफ ह्यूमन सोसाइटी, और इसके लिए जो रीजन दिया गया है वो है एनवायरमेंटली साउंड पॉलिसीज डू नॉट हार्म द एनवायरमेंट और डिप्लेट द नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज. ओके. और इसके लिए आपको कुछ कोड दिए गए हैं जिसमें से आपको करेक्ट जो कोड है वो यहाँ पर सिलेक्ट करना है. जो फर्स्ट वन है वो है बोथ द ए एंड आर आर ट्रू एंड आर इज द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ द ए. सेकेंड वन इज बोथ द ए एंड द आर आर ट्रू but the R is not the correct explanation of the A. Third one is A is the true and R is the false, and the last one is A is the false and the R is the true. So here the both the statement are correct, but environmental sound policies is not the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay. A sustainable society focus on the current and future well-being of its citizen and एनवायरमेंट. मतलब कि जो सस्टेनेबल सोसाइटी होती है वो फोकस करती है ऑन द करंट एंड फ्यूचर वेलबींग ऑफ द सिटीजन एंड एनवायरमेंट. एंड प्रेजेंटली अवर नेशन पॉलिसी आर डेडिकेटेड टू प्रोड्यूसिंग द हाई पॉसिबल रेट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ एंड कंजम्पशन, while the environmental sound policy do not harm the environment or deplete the natural resources. The effect of human activity on the environment, particularly those measures that are designed to prevent or reduce the harmful effect of human activity on the ecosystem. So as we see in the explanation, जो हमारे सस्टेनेबल सोसाइटी है वो फोकस करती है ऑन करंट एंड फ्यूचर वेलबींग ऑफ सिटीजन एंड एनवायरमेंट. ओके. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा अकॉर्डिंग टू एक्सप्लेनेशन वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर 2, दैट इज बोथ द ए एंड आर आर करेक्ट बट आर इज नॉट द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ ए. सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल आर टू बी अचीव बाय विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग ईयर. सो यहाँ पर ये बहुत ही कॉमन सा टॉपिक है, कॉमन सा सब टॉपिक है अंडर दिस यूनिट एंड बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है जिसे कि हम छोड़ नहीं सकते. ओके. यहाँ पर आपको सस्टेनेबल डेवलप के बारे में पूछा गया है, मतलब कि ये कब तक अचीव होंगे. एंड फॉर दिस द ऑप्शंस गिवन आर 2025, 2030, 2035 and 2050. The Sustainable Development Goal were set up in the 2015. तो सेटअप कब हुए थे? 2015 में by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by the year 2030. They are included in the UN resolution called Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for the Sustainable Development. And do you know how many sustainable development goals are there? Then answer will be 17 sustainable goals are there. In exam you might receive the question on this and they might ask you the different sustainable goal. So you have to know about the different 17 sustainable goal. The first one will be no poverty, second one will be zero hunger, then is good health and well-being, then is quality education is there, gender equality, clean water and sanitization, affordable and clean energy is there, decent work and economic growth is there, then is industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduce the inequality, then is sustainable cities and communities is there, responsible consumption and production is there, then is climate action is there, life below water is there, life on land is there, peace, justice and strong institutions are there, partnership for the goals are there. So these are the different 17 goals. Please understand these goals and at least read this goal and go in the exam, so that if you receive the question in the match the following, you will be in a position to answer this question. मतलब कि जो करेक्ट आंसर है अकॉर्डिंग टू एक्सप्लेनेशन वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर 2. 2030 will be the correct answer. As per the Indian Meteorological Department, that is IMD, the southwest monsoon occur during which period of the year? So यहाँ पर इस क्वेश्चन में आपको साउथ वेस्ट मानसून के बारे में पूछा गया है और इसके लिए आपको कुछ ऑप्शंस दिए गए हैं, जिसमें कि फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है जुलाई टू अगस्त, सेकेंड वन इज जून टू सितंबर, थर्ड वन इज सितंबर टू दिसंबर and the last one is August to November. As per the recent announcement from the Indian Meteorological Department, the southwest monsoon arrived on the time over a Kerala coast. Okay. And the southwest monsoon usually occur in the period of June to September. मतलब कि जो साउथ वेस्ट मानसून होता है वो यूजुअली अकर होता है फ्रॉम द जून टू सितंबर. एंड IMD declared that start the monsoon when 60% of the 14 meteorological stations in the Kerala record the 2.5 mm of more rain from the two consecutive days. The other two factors are the western line, that is wind, and outgoing long wave radiation. IMD also revised that forecast of the rain is 102% for a long period average. So here the correct answer for this question will be option number B. As per the India Meteorological Department, that is IMD, the southwest monsoon occur during the June to September period. Researchers have discovered a creature which is a claim to be world longest animal in which country? So in this question यहाँ पर आपको पूछा गया है, जो रिसर्चर है उन्होंने डिस्कवर किया है क्रिएचर और वो क्लेम कर रहे हैं कि वो वर्ल्ड का लॉन्गेस्ट एनिमल है और ये किस कंट्री में हुआ है. ओके, फॉर दिस जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है इंडोनेशिया, सेकेंड ऑप्शन गिवन इज ऑस्ट्रेलिया, थर्ड ऑप्शन गिवन इज मेडागास्कर एंड लास्ट ऑप्शन गिवन इज आयरलैंड. जो रिसर्चर है उन्होंने रिसेंटली जो क्रिएचर डिस्कवर किया है विच इज अ क्लेम टू बी वर्ल्ड लॉन्गेस्ट एनिमल इन द अंडरग्राउंड, इट इज इन द वेस्टर्न ऑस्ट्रेलिया. प्लीज रिमेंबर दैट इट इज ऑन अंडरग्राउंड वाटर in the Western Australia. एंड वहां पर उन्होंने 30 न्यू मरीन स्पाइसेस भी डिस्कवर किए हैं इन द मरीन रीजन ऑफ द ऑस्ट्रेलियन कोस्ट. Though the exact length is not yet been measured, it's estimated that unidentified flying object, that is UFO shaped creature, will be more than 120-meter long. So here the correct answer for this question will be option number B, that is Australia. The phenomena Aribadda that was seen in the news recently is associated with waste species. तो यहाँ पर आपको अरिबडा के बारे में पूछा गया है और इसके लिए आपको कुछ ऑप्शंस दिए गए हैं जिसमें कि फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है स्नेक, सेकंड वन इज स्पाइडर, थर्ड वन इज टर्टल एंड द लास्ट ऑप्शन गिवन इज फिश. So recently about 2 crore alluvial tortoise walked into the sea from the Odisha coast. Okay, जो tortoise थे उन्होंने walk किया in the sea from the Odisha coast. Okay. The tortoise settled at the Gahirmatha and Rushikulla Krochi in the state and lay the eggs every year, and several lakes of tortoise lay the egg on the coast, and it is a phenomena called a aribetta. Okay, and this hatchling will grow up and set to return to the same place from laying the eggs. The tortoise get their name from the color of its olive green shell. As per the World Wildlife Fund, they are the most abundant all the sea tortoise, but they are the vulnerable because the next is only a few places. So the answer here for this question will be option number C, that is tortoise. Mahashir fish, which has been spotted recently in the Andhra Pradesh, was found in which river? तो यहाँ पर आपको महशीर फिश के बारे में पूछा गया है जो कि रिसेंटली आंध्र प्रदेश में पाया गया था. वो किस रिवर में एक्चुअल फाउंड हुआ है और इसके लिए आपको कुछ ऑप्शंस दिए गए हैं जिसमें कि फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है कृष्णा, सेकेंड वन इज गोदावरी, थर्ड वन इज सिलेरू एंड लास्ट वन इज कावेरी. Rare fish called a mahashir, the scientific name is tor, which has been spotted in the upper part of the river Silaru in the Andhra Pradesh. Okay, the scientific name for the mahashir fish is the tor, and it is spotted in the upper part of river Silaru. Okay, and it has been spotted by the team researchers of the Department of Zoology, Andhra University, and this fish is listed under the endangered category by IUCN, that is International Union for Conservation of Nature. And it is usually found in the Himalayan region, in the river running through the Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Nepal and Bhutan. Okay. So according to the explanation, the correct answer for this question will be option number C. The mahashir fish, which was spotted recently in the Andhra Pradesh, was found in Silaru river. Which organization is to set up a community response forum to analyze the impact of stubble burning on the places in and around Delhi. So यहाँ पर इस क्वेश्चन में आपको कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के नाम दिए गए हैं और आपसे पूछा गया है इसमें से कौन सा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो कि सेटअप करेगा अ कम्युनिटी रिस्पॉन्स फोरम टू एनालाइज द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ स्टबल बर्निंग ऑन द प्लेसेस इन एंड अराउंड दिल्ली. इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है नासा, second one is ISRO, third one is FAO and the last one is Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, that is NASA, please remember the full form. Is to set up the Community Response Forum to analyze the impact of stubble burning on the place in and around Delhi. The panel also aimed to suggest the possible solution for the grave environmental issue. Okay. Also solution for the environmental issues. And the University Space Research Association, that is USRA, of NASA will involve in the developing this community forum. Okay, जो यूनिवर्सिटी स्पेस रिसर्च एसोसिएशन है वो भी नासा के साथ इस कम्युनिटी को बनाने में इन्वॉल्व रहेगी. It also focus on biomass burning and its impact on the regional air quality in the Indian subcontinent. Please remember this. The other association which will be involved with the NASA is the University Space Research Association. Okay. That is USRA. So the answer here for this question is option number A, that is NASA. Which forest is said to be in a risk changing from forest to savanna as per the recent study? So here in this question they ask you about the forest which is said to be a risk of changing from the forest to savanna as per the recent study. और इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है कॉन्गो रेन फॉरेस्ट, द सेकेंड ऑप्शन इज अमेजन रेन फॉरेस्ट, थर्ड ऑप्शन इज जेंट्रीज रेन फॉरेस्ट एंड द लास्ट ऑप्शन इज डोंगस नेशनल फॉरेस्ट. In the recent study published in the journal Nature Communication, the resilience of the tropical rainforest under the two additional extreme scenario is explored, and as per the study the rainfall in the Amazon is very low, that up to the 40% of the forest is at the risk of changing into the savanna like a environment with fewer a tree and biodiversity. And study also stimulate the effect of emission on the burning the fossil fuel between now and the end of the century. Okay, so please remember this. It is published in the journal Natural Communication. The resilience of tropical rainforest. Okay, and the Amazon is having a very low rainfall, that is 40% of the forest, and it is in the risk of changing into the savanna like a environment. So here the correct answer for this question will be option number B, that is Amazon rainforest is said to be in a risk of changing from the forest to the savanna as per the recent study. As per the statement of Indian Meteorological Department, that is IMD, which monsoon has completely withdrawn from India. तो यहाँ पर इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन दिया गया है वो है साउथ वेस्ट मानसून, सेकेंड ऑप्शन इज नॉर्थ ईस्ट मानसून, थर्ड ऑप्शन इज retreating monsoon, and the last option is winter monsoon. So Indian Meteorological Department, that is IMD, has started the southwest monsoon as completely withdrawn from India on 28 October 2020. So in 2020, okay, it is southwest monsoon and has completely withdrawn from the India on 20th October 2020. The IMD has also stated that northeast monsoon has commenced. Under the influence of northeast monsoon, there will be the ample rainfall over Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry and part of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Kerala. So as per the statement of Indian Meteorological Department, southwest monsoon has completely withdrawn from the India. Which Indian state has issued warning against hunting of migratory birds, especially Amur falcons? ओके, तो यहाँ पर आपको कुछ स्टेट के नाम दिए गए हैं, इंडियन स्टेट के, जिनको की वार्निंग इशू की है अगेंस्ट द हंटिंग ऑफ माइग्रेटरी बर्ड्स, स्पेशली द अमूर फैल्कॉन्स. सो यहाँ पर जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है हिमाचल प्रदेश, देन इज त्रिपुरा, थर्ड वन इज वेस्ट बंगाल and last one is Odisha. So the Tripura has recently issued a warning against hunting the migratory birds, especially the Amur falcons, amidst the onset of winter. The Forest Department is set to issue the order to inform that migratory birds, including the Amur falcons, are covered under the Wildlife Protection Act enacted in 1972. Please remember the act, that is Wildlife Protection Act 1972, and the state of Nagaland has already issued an order to save the migratory birds. Okay, जो नागालैंड है उनको भी ऑर्डर इशू किया था टू सेव द माइग्रेटरी बर्ड्स. ओके, या द करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी. जो त्रिपुरा है उसे वार्निंग इशू की थी अगेंस्ट द हंटिंग ऑफ माइग्रेटरी बर्ड्स, स्पेशली द अमूर फेलोकॉन. वेलबेरिया बोर्थोरम, which was seen in the news recently, belong to which species? In this question, they ask you about the Welberia bortholum, which was seen in the recent news, okay, and which belongs to which species. For this question, they given you the option. The first option is frog, second one is lizard, third one is spider, and the last one is snake. So, according to the recent research done by the researcher of the Harvard University, a reptile species was discovered and which was a claim to be ancestor to modern day lizard and a snake. The ancient lizard is called Welberia bortholum, and this was discovery is expected to reveal the several details about the revaluation of four-legged creature. Okay. The correct answer here for this question will be option number B, that is lizard will be correct answer. What is the name of India's first autonomous navigation facility inaugurated recently? तो यहाँ पर आपको नाम पूछा गया है इंडियाज फर्स्ट ऑटोनॉमस नेविगेशन फैसिलिटी का, जो कि रिसेंटली इनॉग्रेटेड हुई है. इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है टाइगर, सेकेंड वन इज तिहान, थर्ड वन इज तुषार एंड लास्ट वन इज त्रिशित. तो इंडिया फर्स्ट ऑटोनॉमस नेविगेशन फैसिलिटी जो है वो है तिहान, जो कि इनॉग्रेटेड की है बाय द जितेंद्र सिंह. जो कि यूनियन मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर द साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एट द IIT हैदराबाद कैंपस, एंड जो तिहान का फुल फॉर्म है वो है टेक्नोलॉजी इनोवेशन हब ऑन ऑटोनॉमस नेविगेशन, and it is a multidisciplinary innovative developed at the budget of rupees 130 crore by the Union Minister of Science and Technology. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर बी, दैट इज तिहान is the India's first autonomous navigation facility inaugurated recently. Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage, that is ICH, is associated with which institute? So here the first option given is UNICEF, second one is UNESCO, third one is World Economic Forum, and the last one is Center for Cultural Resources and Training. India has been elected to the Intergovernmental Committee, that is UNESCO 2003 Innovation for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage, that is ICH, for the 2022 to 2026 cycle. 2026 cycle. And India has already served a member of ICH committee twice from 2006 to 2010 and from the 2014 to 2018. And India will be the part of two communities, that is UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage and the World Heritage. तो इस क्वेश्चन के लिए जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा तो वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर बी, दैट इज यूनेस्को. As per the Environment Ministry report, how many faunal species were added by India in 2021? तो इस क्वेश्चन में आपसे पूछा गया है एनवायरमेंट मिनिस्ट्री रिपोर्ट के अनुसार कितने फ्यूनल स्पीसीज जो है वो ऐड किए गए थे इंडिया के द्वारा इन 2021 में. तो इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है 54, देन इज 240, देन इज 540 एंड द लास्ट वन इज 1050. The detail of new discovery and a new record of a flora and a fauna were published by Bhupendra Yadav, जो कि यूनियन मिनिस्टर ऑफ एनवायरमेंट फॉरेस्ट एंड क्लाइमेट चेंज एट द जियोलॉजी सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया कोलकाता. ओके. Environment, forest and climate change at Zoological Survey India of India. Kolkata. India added 240 species to its faunal database in 2021, taking the total number of animal species to 1,03,258. ओके. मतलब कि यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर है इस क्वेश्चन का वो है ऑप्शन नंबर सी, दैट इज 540 faunal species were added by India in 2021 as per the Environment Ministry report. Mangraha hillock, which was seen in the news, is located in which state or union territory? तो यहाँ पर आपको मनग्रह हिलॉक के बारे में पूछा गया है जो कि रिसेंटली न्यूज में आया था, वो कहाँ पर लोकेटेड है? तो इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है पंजाब, सेकेंड वन इज राजस्थान, देन इज उत्तर प्रदेश एंड लास्ट वन इज बिहार. मनग्रह हिलॉक situated in the Rajasthan. Okay, it is situated in the Rajasthan near the Gujarat border. is said to be declared the monument of national importance, and it is a site of tribal uprising where the massacres over a 1,500 Bhil tribal freedom fighter took place in 1913. Okay. Union Textile Minister inaugurated the new campus of National Institute of Fashion Technology, that is NIFT in which state? तो यहाँ पर आपसे पूछा गया है यूनियन टेक्सटाइल मिनिस्टर जो है उन्होंने इनॉग्रेटेड किया है न्यू कैंपस ऑफ द नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फैशन टेक्नोलॉजी। वो कहाँ पर किया है, कौन से स्टेट में? तो इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट स्टेट यहाँ पर है वो है आंध्र प्रदेश, सेकेंड वन इज हरियाणा, then is Odisha, and last one is Karnataka. Okay. Union Textile Minister Piyush Goyal, okay, please remember the name, that is Piyush Goyal, inaugurated a new campus of National Institute of Fashion Technology at Panchkula, Haryana. कहाँ पर इनॉग्रेटेड किया था? पंचकुला हरियाणा में। And the campus was inaugurated in the presence of Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar. And as per the policy of NIFT, 20% of a seat is a institute will be reserved for the domicile of Haryana. मतलब कि जो यहाँ पर करेक्ट आंसर होगा वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर बी, that is हरियाणा. In which year the Skill India Mission was launched in India? तो यहाँ पर आपसे पूछा गया है जो स्किल इंडिया मिशन है वो कब लॉन्च हुआ इंडिया में? तो इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है 2014, देन इज 2015, देन इज 2018 एंड लास्ट वन इज 2020. ओके. सो नेशनल स्किल डेवलपमेंट मिशन विच वाज आल्सो नोन एज स्किल इंडिया मिशन. प्लीज रिमेंबर द अनदर नेम, दैट इज नेशनल स्किल डेवलपमेंट मिशन. ये जो है वो लॉन्च हुआ था 15 जुलाई को इन ईयर 2015 में. द 7th एनिवर्सरी ऑफ स्किल इंडिया मिशन वाज सेलिब्रेटेड दिस ईयर एंड अंडर द प्रधानमंत्री कुशल विकास योजना more than 1 crore 36 lakh young person have been trained so far. The scheme aimed to empower the youth with a skill set, making them more employable. Okay, please remember the aim is to empower the youth with the skill. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर है इस क्वेश्चन का वो है ऑप्शन नंबर बी, दैट इज in 2015 the Skill India Mission was launched in India. Which institution launched the knowledge portal for खादी? तो यहाँ पर आपसे पूछा गया है, कुछ इंस्टीट्यूशन के नाम दिए गए हैं और आपसे पूछा गया है कौन सा एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है जिसने लॉन्च किया था नॉलेज पोर्टल फॉर खादी. तो इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है नाबार्ड, सेकेंड वन इज KVIC, third one is Ministry of Textile and last one is Niti Aayog. The Khadi and Village Industry Commission, that is KVIC, launched the knowledge portal for Khadi. Please remember the full form here, that is Khadi and Village Industry विलेज इंडस्ट्री कमीशंस, ओके, जिसने कि लॉन्च किया था नॉलेज पोर्टल फॉर द खादी, डेवलप्ड बाय द सेंट्रल ऑफ एक्सीलेंस फॉर द खादी. The platform aimed to provide the design direction to the Khadi Institute. The Center of Excellence for a Khadi has been set up by the KVIC Ministry of MSME at National Institute of Fashion Technology to support the Khadi institution. So here the correct answer for this question is option number B. That is KVIC Institute launched the knowledge portal for Khadi. Bulkhanda Expressway was recently inaugurated in which state or a union territory? तो यहाँ पर आपसे पूछा गया है बुलखंडा एक्सप्रेसवे जो है वो रिसेंटली इनॉग्रेटेड किया इन विच स्टेट. तो यहाँ पर जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है उत्तराखंड, सेकेंड वन इज उत्तर प्रदेश, देन इज बिहार एंड द लास्ट वन इज वेस्ट बंगाल. प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी रिसेंटली इनॉग्रेटेड बुलखंडा एक्सप्रेसवे इन Jalayun district in the Uttar Pradesh. Please remember that is Jalayun district in the Uttar Pradesh. The Bulkhand Expressway will connect Chitrakoot in the underdeveloped Bulkhand region with the Lucknow Agra Express. Okay, it will connect Chitrakoot in the underdeveloped Bulkhand region, okay, with the Lucknow Agra Expressway. The 296 km long 4-lane expressway can be later expanded into the 6-lane has been constructed at the cost of rupees 14,850 crore. Okay, 14,850 crore. तो इस क्वेश्चन के लिए जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा यहाँ पर वो होगा उत्तर प्रदेश. The Bulkhand Expressway was recently inaugurated in the Uttar Pradesh, which is the venue of NHA as first hackathon under the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, that is ABDM hackathon. तो यहाँ पर जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है इसके लिए वो है न्यू दिल्ली, देन इज पुणे, देन इज हैदराबाद एंड लास्ट वन इज बेंगलुरु. द नेशनल हेल्थ अथॉरिटी दैट इज NHA, please remember the full form of NHA, that is National Health Authority, has commenced the first hackathon under the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission Hackathon series at the Smart City Operations Center, Pune in the hybrid format. The hackathon is being organized under the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission in the association with the Pune Municipal Corporation and the Pune Smart City Development Corporation. Okay, Pune Municipal Corporation and Pune Smart City. Development Corporation. The hackathon is a focus at mobilizing the health startup in the India to develop innovative solution. तो इस क्वेश्चन के लिए जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा यहाँ पर वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर बी, दैट इज पुणे. Which country hosted the जदाहा सुमित फॉर सिक्योरिटी एंड डेवलपमेंट? तो यहाँ पर आपसे पूछा गया है कौन सी एक कंट्री है जिसने की होस्ट किया था जदाहा सुमित फॉर सिक्योरिटी एंड डेवलपमेंट. तो इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है द फर्स्ट ऑप्शन गिवन हियर इज Bahrain, second one is Israel, third one is Saudi Arabia and the last one is Oman. Saudi Arabia hosted Jeddah Summit for Security and Development, which was attended by a leader of Gulf Cooperation Council, Iran, Jordan and US. The statement released after the summit emphasized to take a required measure to protect the security and stability in the Middle East. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा इस क्वेश्चन का वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर सी, दैट इज सऊदी अरेबिया. The next question here is, which of the following is or are true? In this question they given you the three statement and below that they given you the code, and from that code you have to select the correct answer. The first statement given here is solar waste is a electronic waste generated by the discarded solar panels. Second statement is solar panels have a estimated life of 25 years. And third is India has dedicated the solar waste policy. So to answer this question, you have to understand what is solar waste first. Okay. If you don't know what is solar waste, then how you are going to answer this question? So understand the meaning first and then try to answer the question. So solar waste, it is a electronic waste or a e-waste generated by the discarded solar panel and photovoltaic, that is PV devices. Photovoltaic devices contain the semiconducting material that converts sunlight into the electronic energy. और उसकी जो लाइफ एक्सेप्टेंसी होती है सोलर पैनल की, वो यूजुअली 25 to 30 years के लिए होती है. Over their lifetime, the panel very slowly degrade, meaning that may produce a less and less electricity. Now you know what is solar waste, right? The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has highlighted that India currently considers the solar waste as a part of the electronic waste and does not account for it separately. Okay, so solar waste is a electronic waste generated by the discarded solar panel. That means the correct answer will be option number A, that is statement 1 and statement 2 will be the correct answer here. The dominant source of pollution due to oxide of nitrogen in the urban area is. ये जो क्वेश्चन है वो 2017 के क्वेश्चन पेपर में पूछा गया था, जहां पर आपको डोमिनेंट सोर्स ऑफ पोल्यूशन पूछे गए थे ड्यू टू द ऑक्साइड ऑफ नाइट्रोजन. कहां पर? इन दी अर्बन एरिया. और इसके लिए जो ऑप्शंस दिए गए थे उसमें से एक ऑप्शन था पावर प्लांट. पावर प्लांट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज पावर स्टेशन. ओके, पावर प्लांट को पावर स्टेशन भी कहते हैं. पावर स्टेशन is an industrial location that is utilized for the generation and the distribution of the electric power. On the mass scale, then is energy used in the industry. Energy used और industrial energy जो कि allow करती है industry को to extract the resources and to produce the goods, जिससे कि हम industry जो है वो good produce कर सकती है. Okay, from the raw material to the finished good. Then is commercial sector. Commercial sector means the business, industry and a manufacturing enterprise operating for the profit. Which is operating for what? Which is operating for the profit. Commercial sector means the business, industry or a institution, public organization. Okay. And last option is road transport. The traffic is a major source of nitrogen oxide, especially in the urban area where the traffic density is the high. The dispersion of a nitrogen oxide in the urban area is governed mainly by a wind condition. In the street chaos, the wind generate the which lead to the consideration differences in the concentration level of a टू साइड ऑफ द स्ट्रीट. ओके, और जो ट्रैफिक जो होता है वो रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट के अंदर ही आता है. इसका जो मेजर कॉस्ट है नाइट्रोजन का, ओके, नाइट्रोजन ऑक्साइड का, वो क्या है, वो है ट्रैफिक। तो इस क्वेश्चन के लिए जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा यहाँ पर वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर ए, that is the dominant source of pollution due to the oxide of nitrogen in the urban area is road transport. Here is the question, which of the following type of natural disaster has no definite beginning and end? और ये जो क्वेश्चन है वो 2018 में पूछा गया था, जहां पर आपको कुछ नेचुरल डिजास्टर के टाइप दिए गए थे और आपको पूछा गया था इसमें से कौन सा एक है जिसे कि डेफिनेट बिगिनिंग और एंड नहीं होता है। ओके और इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है अर्थक्वेक, मतलब कि भूकंप। ओके इट कॉज द ग्रेटेस्ट लॉस ऑफ लाइफ। ओके जब भी ये आता है तब क्या होता है, ग्रेटेस्ट लॉस ऑफ लाइफ। While the powerful were deadly because of proximity to either heavily polluted area or the ocean, where the earthquake often created a tsunami that has devastated the community thousands of kilometers away. The second option here is landslide. The movement of rock on the slope downward is called a landslide. जब भी movement होते हैं rock में on the down slope, okay? It is type of the mass wasting. Please remember this. It is a type of the mass wasting. The third option given is hurricanes. Now what is a hurricanes? It is happening because of the wind. ये क्यों होता है? ये होता है because of the wind. The produced wind of 119 km per hour or the higher, and that faster than the cheetah, the fastest animal on the land. And the last option is drought. ड्राउट मतलब कि सूखा पड़ना, जहां पर पानी की कमतरता होना। ओके अगर मानो रेन नहीं आ रही है तो इस वजह से भी वो ये हो सकता है। द ड्राउट इज अ पीरियड इज अ usually unusually constant of a dry weather due to the insufficiency of a water supply surplus and underground. The drought is a natural hazard. ये जो है वो natural hazard है. It is a slow onslaught and evolve the over month or even a year, and it may affect the large region. Okay, it may affect the large region and cause the lethal structural damage, crop, municipal water supply and a wildfire or a wildlife. तो इस क्वेश्चन के लिए जो करेक्ट आंसर है वो है ऑप्शन नंबर डी। Which of the following is a considered as a major source of pollution in the river of India? तो यहाँ पर इस क्वेश्चन में आपको पूछा गया है दिए गए में से कौन सा एक है जो कि मेजर सोर्स है पोल्यूशन का इन द रिवर ऑफ इंडिया में। इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है ऑयल स्पिल। ऑयल स्पिल जो है वो है एक्सीडेंटल डिस्चार्ज ऑफ ऑयल फ्रॉम द वेरियस सोर्स सच एज अ ऑयल टैंकर, ऑफशोर ऑयल माइनिंग और ऑयल एक्सपोजर ऑपरेशन। ओके ये जो है वो एक्सीडेंटल डिस्चार्ज ऑफ ऑयल। सेकेंड ऑप्शन जो है वो है इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट, जो भी इंडस्ट्री मैन्युफैक्चर करती है लाइक अ सोप और अ डिटर्जेंट और अ केमिकल, और जिसका जो वेस्ट होता है वो पानी में छोड़ दिया जाता है उसे ही इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट वाटर कहते हैं। ओके देन इज एग्रीकल्चर रन ऑफ। when we say the agriculture runoff, it is referred to the pesticide or a inorganic of fertilizer used in the agriculture land. Okay, that runoff pollute the fresh water on the massive scale, and then this pollutant ultimately find their way to the ocean. And last option is sewage. Sewage मतलब कि domestic sewage include the liquid waste from the kitchen or a toilet, और जो वेस्ट हम जो है वो पानी में छोड़ देते हैं। ओके दैट इज कॉल्ड अ सेवेज वेस्ट एंड इट कॉज ड्यू टू द इम्प्रॉपर डिस्पोजल ऑफ द सेवेज। द करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर सी, that is agriculture runoff is considered as a major source of pollution in the river of India. Which of the following pollutant is a major cause of respiratory diseases? ये जो क्वेश्चन है वो 2017 के क्वेश्चन पेपर में पूछा गया था, जहां पर आपको कुछ ऑप्शंस दिए गए थे और आपको पूछा गया था इसमें से कौन सा एक है जो कि मेजर कॉज है ऑफ द रेस्पिरेटरी डिसीजेस। इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है सस्पेंडेड फाइन पार्टिकल्स, सेकेंड वन इज नाइट्रोजन ऑक्साइड, थर्ड इज कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड एंड लास्ट वन इज वॉलेटाइल ऑर्गेनिक कंपोनेंट। वॉलेटाइल ऑर्गेनिक कंपोनेंट जिसे VOC भी कहते हैं, मतलब कि ये जो है वो उसका शॉर्ट फॉर्म है, emitted the gases from a certain solid and a liquid, solid and liquid, और जो कि इंक्लूड करता है वैरायटी ऑफ केमिकल्स एंड सम ऑफ विच मे हैव अ शॉर्ट और अ लॉन्ग टर्म एडवर्स इफेक्ट ऑन दी हेल्थ। देन इज कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड। कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड जो होती है वो कलरलेस होती है and it lower the amount of the oxygen which enter into our body and it can slow our reflexes and make us confused and sleepy. Then is nitrogen oxide. Nitrogen oxide are the gaseous component consisting of the nitrogen and oxygen. And the last option is suspended fine particles. Suspended fine particles, it consists of the solid in the air in the form of the smoke, dust, vapors which remain suspended for an extended period and also the main source of health which reduce the disability. The finer of this particle, when the breathe, it can load in our lungs and cause the lung damages and a respiratory problem. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा इस क्वेश्चन के लिए वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर 1. सस्पेंडेड फाइन पार्टिकल्स आर द मेजर कॉज ऑफ रेस्पिरेटरी डिसीजेस. Which of the following pollutant gas is not produced both naturally and as a result of a industrial activity? ये जो क्वेश्चन है वो 2017 के क्वेश्चन पेपर में पूछा गया था, जहां पर आपको कुछ पॉल्यूटेंट गैसेस दिए गए थे और आपको पूछा गया था इसमें से कौन सा एक है जो कि प्रोड्यूस नहीं होता है बिकॉज ऑफ बोथ नेचुरली एंड अ रिजल्ट ऑफ अ इंडस्ट्रियल एक्टिविटी. इसके लिए जो ऑप्शंस दिए गए हैं वो है कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड. अगर हम बात करेंगे कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड की तो इसे CO कह के भी लिखा जाता है. ओके, मतलब कि इसका जो फॉर्मूला है वो CO है और ये जो है वो कलरलेस गैस है और टेस्टलेस गैस है. ओके, एंड दिस टॉक्सिसिटी मेक दिस गैस इन एन air pollutant which is produced because of the incomplete burning of hydrocarbon like fuels like oil और natural gases. उसके बाद है मीथेन. मीथेन जो है वो केमिकल कंपोनेंट है जिसका जो फॉर्मूला है वो है CH4 एंड ये जो है वो ग्रुप ऑफ 14 hydrate, the simplest alkane and the main consistent of the natural gas. उसके बाद है नाइट्रोजन डाइऑक्साइड. नाइट्रोजन डाइऑक्साइड इसका जो फॉर्मूला है वो है NO2. Nitrogen dioxide is a gaseous air pollutant and it is produced by the combustion of the fossil fuel. And last one is chlorofluorocarbon. Chlorofluorocarbon, which is also known as CFC, are the components that have been released into the atmosphere and of various applications such as in the air conditioning, refrigerator, blowing the agent in flame, inclusion and a packaging material and as a solvent, and it is not produced by both naturally and as a result of industrial activity. तो इस क्वेश्चन के लिए जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर A, that is chlorofluorocarbon. One of the following waste is not under the hazardous one. So यहाँ पर आपको इस क्वेश्चन में पूछा गया है कौन सा ऐसा वेस्ट है जो कि hazardous वेस्ट नहीं है. Okay, for this the options given are agriculture, recite, second option is chemical, third option is paint and the last option is Electroplating waste. Hazardous waste are those that may contain the toxic substances, okay, generated from the industry, hospital, and some type of household waste. Hazardous waste are the waste with the properties that make them a dangerous and potentially harmful to the human health and the environment. Hazardous waste जो होता है वो टॉक्सिक सब्सटेंस होता है उसमें, जो कि इंडस्ट्री, हॉस्पिटल और सम टाइप ऑफ हाउस होल्ड वेस्ट भी उसमें इंक्लूडेड होता है, ओके, जो कि ह्यूमन हेल्थ एंड एनवायरमेंट के लिए डेंजरस होता है। यहाँ पर जो एग्रीकल्चर रिसाइड है वो यहाँ पर इंक्लूड नहीं होगा अंडर द हजार्डियस वन, ओके, बट केमिकल, पेंट एंड electroplating waste will be included under the hazardous one, okay. So agriculture waste is the fraction of the crop that does not constitute the harvest itself. The residue derived from the forest maintaining and from the industry processing of both the agriculture and the forestry resources should also be considered under this classification. Which of the following are the reason or a factor for exposure of benzene pollution? For this, the first option is automobile exhaust, second option is tobacco smoke, third option is wood burning, fourth option is using varnished wooden furniture, and last option is using product made up of polyurethane. And from this code you have to select the correct option. So here the benzene is a chemical that is a colorless or a light yellow liquid at the room temperature. Okay, ये जो है वो एक केमिकल है जो कि कलरलेस होता है और लाइट येलो कलर लिक्विड होता है at the room temperature. It has a sweet odor and it is a highly flammable. Natural sources of benzene include the volcanoes and the forest fire. Benzene is also the natural part of crude oil, gas oil, and the cigarette smoke. Some industries use the benzene to make other chemicals that are used to make a plastic and the nylon and synthetic fiber. Benzene is also used to make some type of rubber, drugs and pesticide. The correct answer for this question will be option number 4. That is, all the options given here will be included under the benzene pollution. That is A, B, C, D and the E. Okay. यहाँ पर जो क्वेश्चन है वो असर्शन और रीजन के ऊपर बेस है। जो असर्शन है वो कहता है इंडोर एयर पोल्यूशन इज अ सीरियस हजार्ड, और इसके लिए जो रीजन है वो कहता है द डिस्पोजल ऑफ एयर पोल्यूटेंट इज रेदर लिमिटेड इन द इंडोर एनवायरमेंट। और ये जो क्वेश्चन है वो 2018 में पूछा था, ओके। और इसके लिए आपको कुछ ऑप्शंस दिए थे जिसमें कि फर्स्ट ऑप्शन था बोथ द ए एंड आर द ट्रू एंड आर इज द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ द ए। सेकेंड इज both the A and R are true and R is not the correct explanation of the A. Third is A is the true and R is the false. And last one is both A and R are the false. The potential source of the indoor air pollution include the central heating, cooling, household cleaning and maintenance product, outdoor sources such as a pesticide, biological contaminant, such as a animal dander, mold and a cockroaches, dry cleaner clothing, tobacco smoke. Okay. तो इस क्वेश्चन के लिए जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर ए, दैट बोथ ए एंड आर द ट्रू एंड आर इज द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ द ए. Which city was ranked first in India in the EIU Global Livability Index 2022? तो यहाँ पर आपको कुछ सिटीज के नाम दिए गए हैं और आपसे पूछा गया है गिवन विच सिटी was ranked first in the India's EIU Global Livability Index 2022. इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है बेंगलुरु, सेकेंड वन इज न्यू दिल्ली, थर्ड वन इज मुंबई एंड लास्ट वन इज चेन्नई. EIU, that is European Intelligence Unit, recently released the Global Livability Index 2022, which ranked 173 cities on the basis of their living condition. And there are 5 Indian cities, that is Delhi, then there is Mumbai, then there is Chennai, Ahmedabad and Bangalore. Which were included in that list, and the Delhi was ranked the best, that is 140 rank, followed by the Mumbai, that is 141, then there is Chennai, that is 142, then Ahmedabad 143, and Bangalore was the last of India's cities at 146. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा इस क्वेश्चन का वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर बी, दैट इज न्यू दिल्ली. Which organization manufacture advanced light helicopter, that is ALH Mk3 helicopters? Okay. सो यहाँ पर इस क्वेश्चन में आपको पूछा गया है कौन सा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसने कि एडवांस लाइट हेलीकॉप्टर Mk3 मैन्युफैक्चर किया है. और इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है DRDO, सेकेंड ऑप्शन इज HAL, third option is ISRO, and the last option is BEL, that is BEL. Okay. Here the ALH, that is Advanced Light Helicopter Mk3, has been manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, that is HAL, and the Advanced Light Helicopter, that is HAL Mk3, was commissioned in Gujarat, Porbandar, by the Director General of Indian Coast Guard at the ICG Air Enclave. It includes the advanced RADAR electro-optical sensor, Shakti engine, advanced communication system, among others. Okay. So remember this, it is a manufactured by HAL, and the full form of HAL is Hindustan Aeronautic Limited. Okay. And it is a commenced in Gujarat, Porbandar. By the Director General of Indian Coast Guard at the ICG Air Enclave. So the answer here for this question will be option number B, that is HAL. The government has announced deregulation of which product recently, which was its a control earlier. Okay. So here in this question they ask you जो government है उसने announce किया है deregulation of given which product recently. Okay. इसके लिए जो first option यहाँ पर है वो है locally produced crude oil. Second option is aviation fuel. Third option is defense equipment, and the last option is automatic energy plant equipment. Okay. तो जो गवर्नमेंट है उसने अलाउ किया है फर्म्स लाइक ONGC एंड वेदांता को to sell local produced crude oil to any Indian refinery for turning into the fuel such as a petrol and diesel. The deregulation of locally product oil is one of the last few areas that was still under its control, and the government was fixing the buyer for a crude produce from the older field. Okay. So the answer here for this question will be option number A, that is locally produced crude oil. Which institution approved two loans of USD 500 million each to support India's health sector. तो यहाँ पर इस क्वेश्चन में आपको कुछ इंस्टीट्यूशन के नाम दिए गए हैं और आपसे पूछा गया है कौन सा एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है जिसने कि अप्रूव किया है 2 लोन्स ऑफ $500 million each to support the India's health sector. ओके, जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है ADB, सेकेंड वन इज AIIB, third one is World Bank and last one is IMF. Okay, so the World Bank approved the contemporary loan of $500 million is to support India's health sector. तो यहाँ पर जो वर्ल्ड बैंक है उसने ये अप्रूव किया है. ओके, किसने अप्रूव किया है? वर्ल्ड बैंक ने. And through this financing of $1 billion, the bank will support India's flagship Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission, that is PM Abhim. One of the loan will privatize 7 states including the Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Meghalaya, Odisha, Punjab, Tamil Nadu and the Uttar Pradesh. तो इस क्वेश्चन के लिए जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा यहाँ पर वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर सी. वर्ल्ड बैंक इंस्टीट्यूशन अप्रूव 2 लोन ऑफ $500 million each to support the India health sector. Who is the new president of Financial Action Task Force? तो यहाँ पर आपको न्यू प्रेसिडेंट के बारे में पूछा गया है ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल एक्शन टास्क फोर्स, जिसे कि FATF भी कहते हैं. ओके, इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन है वो है टी राजा कुमार, सेकेंड वन इज उर्जित पटेल, थर्ड वन इज वायरल आचार्य एंड लास्ट वन इज सुभाष चंद्र गर्ग. टी राजा कुमार ऑफ सिंगापुर has been appointed as a president of Financial Action Task Force, the anti-money laundering watchdog. जो टी राजकुमार है सिंगापुर का, उसे अपॉइंटेड किया है एज अ प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल एक्शन टास्क फोर्स. ओके, एंड ही हैज रिप्लेस्ड द मर्कस प्लेयर, एंड ये जो है वो अपनी जो सर्विस है वो 2 साल के लिए डिस्चार्ज करेगा. एज पर द FATF, the president will focus on the enhancing the effectiveness of enhancing the effectiveness of global anti-money laundering, counter-terrorists, improving the asset recovery, and other initiative. तो इस क्वेश्चन के लिए जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा यहाँ पर वो होगा टी राजा कुमार इज द न्यू प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल एक्शन टास्क फोर्स. व्हाट इज द थीम फॉर इंटरनेशनल डे ऑफ कोऑपरेटिव्स 2022? तो यहाँ पर आपको थीम के बारे में पूछा गया है ऑफ द इंटरनेशनल डे ऑफ कोऑपरेटिव्स 2022 के बारे में, जिसके लिए आपको यहाँ पर फर्स्ट जो ऑप्शन है वो है कोऑपरेटिव्स बिल्ड्स अ बेटर वर्ल्ड, सेकेंड इज decision making in cooperatives, third one is human centered business model and the last one is social responsibility. जो इंटरनेशनल डे होता है कोऑपरेटिव का वो सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है ऑन द फर्स्ट सैटरडे ऑफ एवरी जुलाई, फर्स्ट सैटरडे ऑफ जुलाई इन एवरी ईयर, एंड द डे वाज डेजिग्नेटेड बाय द यूनाइटेड नेशन. The International Day of a Cooperative was observed around the world on the 2nd July this year, and this year was marked as a 100th International Day of a Cooperatives, which is also known as Coops Day. And this year the theme of International Day of a Cooperative was Cooperative Builds a Better World. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर है इस क्वेश्चन का वो है ऑप्शन नंबर ए। The theme for International Day of Cooperatives 2022 was Cooperatives Build a Better World. NTPC signed a MOU with which state to develop a 10 gigawatt ultra mega renewable energy power park. ओके, तो इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है गुजरात, सेकेंड वन इज राजस्थान, थर्ड वन इज पंजाब एंड लास्ट वन इज महाराष्ट्र। एनटीपीसी इसका जो फुल फॉर्म है वो है नेशनल थर्मल पावर कॉर्पोरेशन। ओके, sign a memorandum of understanding, that is MOU, MOU का जो फुल फॉर्म है यहाँ पर वो है मेमोरेंडम ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग with the government of Rajasthan to develop a 10 gigawatt ultra mega renewable energy power park in the Rajasthan, and इसका जो aim है is to achieve the target of 60 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by the 2032. Please remember it is a 60 gigawatt renewable energy by 2032. तो यहाँ पर जो करेक्ट आंसर है इस क्वेश्चन का वो है ऑप्शन नंबर बी, दैट इज राजस्थान। विच इज द इंडियाज मेजर सी फूड आइटम एक्सपोर्टेड फ्रॉम इंडिया इन टर्म ऑफ क्वांटिटी एंड वैल्यू। तो यहाँ पर आपको कुछ इंडियाज मेजर सी फूड के नाम दिए गए हैं और आपसे पूछा गया है इसमें से कौन सा एक है जो कि एक्सपोर्ट किया जाता है फ्रॉम द इंडिया इन टर्म ऑफ क्वांटिटी एंड वैल्यू। तो इसके लिए यहाँ पर जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन दिया गया है वो है फ्रोजन श्रिम्प, second option is frozen squid, third option is frozen fish and the last option is frozen cuttlefish. Okay, so here the India shipped 13,69,264 MT of seafood worth rupees 57,586.48 crore during the 21 to 22. Okay, इंडिया जो है उसने शिफ्ट किया था 13,69,264 MT seafood worth rupees 57,586.48 crore during the 2021 to 22, and during financial year 21 to 22 export improved in rupees in term by 31.71%. Frozen shrimp remain the major export item in term of quantity and value, and जो USA है is the largest market for a frozen shrimp followed by the China and the European Union. So here the correct answer for this question will be option number A. Which state signed a MOU with Singapore based IGSS venture to set up the semiconductor fab unit and the semiconductor high tech park? Okay, तो यहाँ पर आपसे पूछा गया है, कुछ स्टेट के नाम दिए गए हैं और आपसे पूछा गया है कौन सा एक स्टेट है जिसने कि साइन किया है MOU with the Singapore based IGSS venture to set up the semiconductor fab unit and the semiconductor high tech park. तो इसके लिए फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है तमिलनाडु, second one is Telangana, then is Rajasthan and the last one is Punjab. तो यहाँ पर जो तमिलनाडु है and Singapore based IGSS venture signed a MOU for establishing 300-acre semiconductor high-tech park and a semiconductor fab unit in the state. 300-acre semiconductor high-tech park and a semiconductor fab unit in the state. The company will invest rupees 25,600 crore in the project in the next 5 years, generating the direct employment of 1,500 people. The MOU was signed with the Guidance the State Nodal Agency for the Investment Promotion and a Single Window Facilitation. तो यहाँ पर इस क्वेश्चन का जो करेक्ट आंसर है वो है ऑप्शन नंबर ए. तमिलनाडु साइन अ MOU with Singapore based IGSS venture to set up the semiconductor fab unit and a semiconductor heritage park. Which state topped the ranking index for implementation of the National Food Security Act, that is NFSA? So here in this question they given you the state name and they ask you given which state topped the ranking index for implementation of the National Food Security Act, that is NFSF. इसके लिए जो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है वो है तमिलनाडु, देन इज ओडिशा, then is Andhra Pradesh, and last one is Rajasthan. Union Food Minister Piyush Goyal released the first state ranking index for the implementation of National Food Security Act and the act given in the year 2013. The state and UT were ranked based on the three parameters for the year 2022, and among the 20 big states, the Union Territories, the Odisha topped the index, followed by the Uttar Pradesh and the Andhra Pradesh. Okay. First one will be the Odisha. Then is the followed by the Uttar Pradesh. Then there is Andhra Pradesh. While the Goa was the last. Tripura ranked the first and Ladakh was at the amongst the 14 smaller states and the Union Territories. तो इस क्वेश्चन का जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर बी, दैट इज ओडिशा स्टेट टॉप द रैंकिंग इंडेक्स फॉर द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ द नेशनल फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट.